What was your question again?
When was the last time you had any sleep?
Even when I do get a good night's sleep, I close my eyes and it's morning. I'm turning gray. My wife says I've aged 10 years in the last month.
It's okay, Miranda. You're safe here. It's just a little thunder.
It's never just thunder anymore. It seems to follow me.
As crazy as that sounds.
Poor shit. It's all in your head, voices, sounds.
Do we have to do that here?
You got a little green bed in your bedroom. I think my smoke is the least of your problems.
Do you have to be such an ass all the time?
Now, guys, Chris, you've all seen something different. We've talked about the missing time. Now, tell me about the voices.
It's not so much a voice.
It's hard to explain. I'm lying there and it's like a clicking sound.
I think they're voices. I'm so tired all the time. All I know is when I hear them, I know it's gonna hurt.
The sound waves on my chest. I can't move. I can't breathe. The hands are all over me.
I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or if I really heard it. It was getting louder, kind of primal.
It's kind of like a low-pitched hum that I can feel more than I can hear.
You see, you're all seeing and hearing something completely different. They're called night terrors, and though they're not common, it's completely normal. There's no such thing as aliens.
It's the thunder. They come in the thunder.
You're all crazy. I don't even know what I'm doing here, you nut jobs.
Shut up! Just shut up!
So much. They don't care. They just stare with those big black eyes.
You are really starting to piss me off.
Hey, why don't you leave her alone?
Why don't you make me if you can stop beating long enough?
Let's all calm down.
He's just as scared as the rest of us.
I'm not afraid of anything. They are not taking me again.
Chris, why have you got a gun?
Because he's been taken too. Just won't admit it.
So what?
So we've all tried to fight. You
Put that
can't.
thing away. I hate
They're
guns.
small. I want to fight them, but it's like I can't move. I'm paralyzed.
Time stands still when they take you.
Maybe they take you because you're weak and scared.
And what are you?
Leave.
Did you hear that?
It's just the weather.
Don't you hear it? It's like a clicking sound.
Oh my god! What is that?
It's just a storm. It can't hurt you. It's only thunder.
Always come in the thunder.
I can't breathe.
They're here.
Run! Where's Todd?
Let's go, Claire. We've got to get out of here.
It's not real. They're not real. They're not real. They're not real. They're not real.
Hey everybody,
Hello, hello.
we have a very special movie for you tonight.
Yes, we are showing House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price.
Yes!
Classic film.
And a bit of trivia for you too, because we're out of Wisconsin, so of course we have to mention this man. The exterior shots for the house were filmed at the Ennis Brown House in California.
Yeah, Los Angeles, California.
And the designer, this is the infamous Wisconsinite, Frank Lloyd Wright, and this house was built in 1924.
Yeah, so that's some really cool trivia. When you see the outside of the house that's featured in this, look at the architecture because it is a renowned architect that did it.
Wisconsin proud here.
And I have another piece of trivia for you. So actually in one of these shots, now pay close attention in this movie, in one of these shots in the upstairs hallway, you can see a cameraman's hand.
Ooh.
So see if you can spot it. Pay real close attention and see if you can spot it. Also, Morgan.
Go.
Morgan.
Well, yeah, Celeste, yes.
Why didn't 4 enter the haunted house?
Why didn't 4 enter the haunted house, Celeste?
He was too squared.
I'm laughing at my own misery here.
Okay,
This is unbearable.
so Morgan,
I should know that they always come 2 in a row. Yes, Celeste.
Morgan.
Yes.
Why are there no haunted gyms?
Why are there no haunted gyms?
Because all the ghosts have been exorcised.
Anybody want some eardrums for donation?
Fine, I got one more.
Oh,
One more.
God.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah.
One time, I ate at a haunted French restaurant. You know what?
What?
It gave me the crepes. No. Fine. Those jokes may be bad, but this movie is good.
True. Very true.
So please sit back and enjoy House on Haunted Hill.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry. May I introduce myself? I'm Watson Pritchard. In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
I'm Frederick Loren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000, or your next of kin in case you don't survive. Ah, but here come our other guests. It was my wife's idea to have our guests come in funeral cars. She's so amusing. Her sense of humor is, shall we say, original. I dreamed up the hearse. It's empty now, but after a night in the house on Haunted Hill, who knows? This is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it? And I happen to know that Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money. Gambles. You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why. He says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there, around the mouth and eyes? This is Nora Manning. I picked her from the thousands of people who work for me because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty? The party's starting now, and you have until midnight to find the house on Haunted Hill.
Well, where is everybody?
It isn't a very warm welcome, is it?
Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
Are we all strangers to each other? Don't you two know each other?
I'm afraid I don't even know your name.
I'm Nora Manning.
Lance Schroeder.
Is Frederick Loren a friend of yours?
I've heard of him, but I've never met him.
I work for one of his companies, but I've never seen him.
I've never met the man either. Just a phone call. Do you know him?
No,
Well, then you're the only one of us who does.
I don't know him. All the details about renting the house were done by mail.
He's quite wealthy, isn't he?
Millions.
And 5 wives, I believe.
4, I think, so far.
A $50,000 party for only 5 people is a little steep, even for a millionaire.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Who closed the door?
This thing's made of solid steel.
Annabelle. Our guests are here, unfortunately still alive. Is your face on yet?
Dust and dirt everywhere, and the water barely trickles. Couldn't you have had the place cleaned?
Atmosphere, darling. You know how ghosts are. They never tidy up. And that's a very fetching outfit, but hardly suitable for a party.
I'm not going to the party.
The spend-the-night ghost party was your idea, remember? Since it's going to cost me $50,000, I want you to have fun.
The party was my idea until you invited all the guests. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends?
Friends? Do we have any friends?
No, your jealousy took care of that.
I had a reason for inviting each guest. I wanted kind of a cross-section. From psychiatrist to typist, and from drunk to jet pilot. They share one thing. They all need money. Now let's see if they're brave enough to earn it.
And you call this a party?
Could be.
Why do you always do that? It spoils the champagne.
It might explode.
Never does.
Would you guarantee that?
That isn't funny, Frederick.
Make a good headline. Playboy kills wife with champagne cork. Will you join me?
No, thank you.
Just a sip might improve your humor.
My humor is fine, thanks. And I haven't poisoned it.
It's always good to know that. Have some. You'll enjoy the party more. Go on.
Your trust is so touching. And I'm not going to the party.
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive.
Would you go away for $1 million, tax-free? You want it all, don't you?
I deserve it all. Your jealousy isn't tax-free. And your possessiveness is maddening.
If ever a man had grounds for divorce,
But can't prove them.
the time will come. You'll slip up one of these days,
Think so?
if I live long enough. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Something you ate, the doctor said.
Yes, arsenic on the rocks. Annabelle, you'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
Darling, what makes you think that?
Something about you. I hear that hanging is very uncomfortable, in case you get any more ideas. Now, don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, The only ghoul in the house is you.
And don't sit up all night thinking of ways to get rid of me. It makes wrinkles.
This is what she used on my brother and her sister. Hacked them to pieces. We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads.
The wife, probably in a rage, threatened her husband with a knife and then, carried away by hysteria, took a swing at him and simply went on from there.
Well, she certainly went on. How many people did she kill, Mr. Pritchard?
Only two. Her husband and her sister. No one else was here.
So there are two loose heads just floating around in here somewhere?
You can hear them at night. They whisper to each other and then cry.
Since our host isn't here, would anyone care to mix me a drink?
Certainly. What will you have?
Good evening. I'm your host, Frederick Loren. Since we're all strangers to each other, let's get acquainted with a drink, shall we?
Mr. Loren, I advise you to call this party off now. The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
Let me apologize for my wife. She'll join us later. What do you have?
Scotch and.
Doctor?
I'll have the same.
Now, before the party begins, let's go over the details. The caretakers will leave at midnight, locking us in here until they come back in the morning. Once the door is locked, there's no way out. The windows have bars that a jail would be proud of, and the only door to the outside locks like a vault. There's no electricity, no phone, no one within miles, so no way to call for help.
Like a coffin.
So if any of you decide not to stay for the party, you must let me know before midnight. Of course, if you leave, I shan't be able to pay you anything.
I'm interested in your reasons for this, party. Aside from the pleasant company.
Ghosts, Doctor. I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
This movie's so good.
Yes, we're back, and I'm already excited because there's so much atmosphere and build-up. Although, whoa, that couple is dysfunctional.
Yeah, I'd rather listen to your jokes all day.
Issues. Thank you.
You're welcome, but it's the truth.
I mean, actually, it seems that everybody in the movie kind of has issues here. Because if you look at it, they all... Yeah, every person, they're there for a reason. They all need money. They all have these weird, sordid things going on. And none of them know their host. But he's saying, oh, this is your party. This party is for you. Okay. Kind of creepy. They're being mean to each other. She's what, his fourth wife or something.
Something like that.
He's been married a lot. And he's apparently got a lot of money.
Yes. Speaking of money, the money that they offered in the movie for them to last the night,
The $10,000, yeah.
$10,000 in today's world would be worth approximately $83,000. That's how much inflation has gone up since this movie was made.
So they're basically offering a small fortune for one night, which makes sense and why they would jump on this. Because if someone offered me $10,000, I would do it. If someone offered me $83,000, I would definitely do it.
Isn't that insane, the price of inflation that goes up over the years?
Yeah. So yeah, that gives you some perspective on exactly how much money they were offering them to stay overnight. And then we don't know why, but I think we're going to find out.
We're definitely going to find out.
And another interesting piece of trivia is that the guy that plays the Englishman, Alan Marshal, he was a very popular supporting actor in the time. So, you know, pay attention to him. He's a cool guy anyway. Tragically, what happened to him is he ended up dying on stage during a play where he played one of Mae West's husbands in her production of Sextet. So that's a really sad way for him to go. He ended up doing a lot of supporting roles at the time, so he was someone that you'd see in a lot of movie roles at that time.
So, been a while since I went to the troll market. I go to the troll market, but I kind of like distanced myself from a certain group in the troll market. And unfortunately, this past week, run into some of them, and then the next thing you know is you're like neck deep in a poker game and you've pretty much lost everything and racked up a lot of debt, which I didn't bother to tell Celeste about.
Yeah, she had issues, and I found out about it in a very interesting way. So,
Morgan gets a job.
Yeah, let's check it out. I'd like to withdraw some cash, please. Morgan?
Celeste?
What are you doing here?
So, remember how I was at the troll market all last week and I didn't come home? I racked up a bunch of debt, and this was the first place that would hire me.
You're working at a bank?
Yes, they said that I had the face to give out money.
Okay, can I have some cash? Well, I need like $20.
I can get you.
I would trust this.
Best I can do is some Packer napkins.
I don't even want to give you my account number.
It'll be safe with me.
Can I just take some?
What's wrong with those?
Packer napkins?
I don't want them either, but here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, see, it wants to come back to me. 5, right? What's it, 5? 6. 6, you've got $6 so far. 7.
That's only 5.
No, it's 7 because I say it's 7.
Are you sure you're qualified to work here?
I'm overqualified to work here. Shall we continue?
Yeah, fine, whatever.
8.
Come on.
You can clean my room?
No, I just want my cash. Do you have a manager I can talk to?
1 moment. Yes? Can I help you, ma'am?
Morgan, just give me that.
I'm the manager.
Oh, no. I'm coming to get it.
Take it. Take it.
Give me that.
You can't fire me. You just hired me.
Yes, fire her. She's terrible.
I still got your dollar.
Just give me it.
You gotta clean my room first.
Fine.
Promise?
No.
I'm the world's best bank teller. Have a nice day.
La bellezza in fiore
life has given us all the opportunity to find out.
Amusing. Ghosts, etc., being only creations of hysteria, your party should be a success.
Well, Pritchard here promises us genuine ghosts.
7 now. Maybe more before morning.
That's cheerful.
4 men have been murdered in this house. And 3 women.
You planned your party very well, Mr. Loren. 4 of us are men, 3 are women. Well, a ghost for everybody.
Well, Pritchard, why don't you take us on a tour through the house and let's see what happens, huh?
See that stain? Blood. A young girl was killed here. And whatever got her wasn't human. Don't stand there.
What do you mean? Where?
It's too late. They've marked you.
Ridiculous. The roof probably leaks.
Oh, that must be what it is. Who would want to haunt me?
I would say any self-respecting male ghost.
I hope it doesn't come back.
Well, Mr. Pritchard, you're the life of the party.
He hasn't even started yet. Wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar. There's been a murder almost every place in this house. All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up. It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild, violent, and different. Look out! God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
Destroys everything with hair and flesh. Just leaves the bones. My, it's dry and dusty down here.
Well, there's a cure for that upstairs. Come on.
How'd you get invited to this party? No. Oh, go on. I mean, what did he tell you?
Mr. Loren said everybody'd get $10,000.
But he didn't say anything about being locked in.
No.
He just made a deal with me on the phone, but nothing about having to stay.
Aren't you going to stay?
If I don't, I lose $10,000.
I'm going to stay too. $10,000.
Yeah. You believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
Well, I agree with what that doc says. You can spook yourself. I've done it in planes. Seen things that weren't really there. Or were they? What are you going to do with your $10,000? If we get it.
What do you mean, if we get it? Won't he pay us if we stay?
Ah, sure he will. 10,000 is no more to him than a nickel is to us.
We were in an automobile accident. Now I'm the only one in the family who can make any money.
Boy, I've never seen so many doors. Closet. Bottles.
Does it go anywhere?
I mean?
Please, come on.
Did she say Lance is gone? Gone where?
We'll have to break it down. It's locked.
Locked?
You all right?
Nothing that money won't cure. I must have bumped my head.
And the only way you could bump your head in here is to run head on into the wall. You didn't do that, did you? Let's get a bandage on that.
I wonder why they didn't kill him.
Who?
He didn't bump his head. They hit him.
They?
Nora, when you came in, you said something about a ghost.
There was something.
What did it look like?
Well, it was wearing a black thing that went all the way to the floor.
Weren't you a little frightened at the time?
Well, yes.
That, Mr. Loren, is hysteria.
Well, then, Doctor, how do you explain what happened to Lance? Was that hysteria, too?
You better get that checked in a day or so.
Thanks, Doc.
Wait for me in the hall.
The ghosts are coming closer, Mr. Loren.
You really believe in your pet ghost, don't you, Pritchard?
Before the night's over, you will, too.
Would you like a drink, Lance?
No, thanks.
I'd like one. Scotch and. Mr. Loren, are you really going to pay anyone who stays all night?
Certainly. $10,000.
Will there be much red tape or delay?
You in a hurry, dear?
Frankly, yes. Or frantically.
There you are, my dear.
Someone or something was in here when I came in. But where? And if the door was locked, how did it get out? What you saw might have been a ghost, Nora, but what was in here with me was no ghost.
I don't know. I was so scared.
That sound different to you?
Yes.
Yep. Your love and pity doth the impression fill, which vulgar scandal stamped upon my brow. For what care I who calls me well or ill? So you o'er green my bad, my good allow. You are my all the world, and I must strive to know my shames and praises from your tongue, none else to me, nor I to none alive, that my steeled sense or changes right or wrong. In so profound absence, I throw all care of other voices that my adder sense to critic and to flatter stopped are. Mark how with my neglect I do dispense. You are so strongly in my purpose bred, that all the world besides me thinks are dead. Yes.
Hey, Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper says that he's gonna run away.
Lovely. Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper says do them now.
Okay, they're coming. And I'm gonna show them where the sun don't shine. Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Cooper's asking where his coffee is.
Oh, well, Mr. Cooper can shove it up his butt.
Daddy! I'll be back.
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Did you sweep up yet?
Yes, I'll show you. Come with me.
Okay.
Mrs. Kratz. Whatever your name is. Celeste.
Morgan.
Oh, thank God.
I got your call. What's up?
I need some help here. I kind of lost my patience with the frump lady, Crumps, whatever her name was. She was repeatedly in here asking me to do things and, you know, breathing down my neck. And yeah,
I ran out with those shoes on.
Yeah,
Better be important.
I can't handle shoes. I need help.
Get it? Not another one.
Another one. We're going to there's that too. I'm going to need the
That
cleaner.
looks like dragging and...
Very much so. Do we call the maintenance men from home for this? What do we do?
I'll go get some cleaner. I'll be right back. Not another one. Morgan.
Thank you. Do we know if this place has like an incinerator for garbage?
I'll find out.
Okay, thank you.
Just don't go anywhere.
Oh, great. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm gonna go pick up the paperwork.
3, 6, 9, 12. 12 feet. Three, 6. Now I'm gonna knock on the other wall. When you hear me, you knock on this wall. Tap lower down. Where'd it come from?
From in here.
Well, if it ran out of here, I'd have seen it.
Lance, it doesn't run, it just floats.
Yeah, but why didn't I see it?
You don't believe me.
How can I?
I'm Annabelle Loren. You must be Miss Manning. I realize this is a very unusual and I'm afraid very dull party. Wouldn't you like to freshen up? This is your room. Depressing, isn't it?
I doubt if I'll spend much time here.
It's going to rain. Perfect atmosphere for my husband's party. Why did you come here?
He said he'd give me $10,000.
Why did he pick you?
I don't know. My supervisor just came and said I'd been invited.
How long have you known my husband?
I just met him tonight.
So? Why you? What were you doing wandering around by yourself?
Well, I was in the cellar with Lance, Mr. Schroeder, and I just left, that's all.
Don't do it again. Don't go anywhere in this house by yourself. Now fix your face and I'll come by for you in a few minutes.
But
You're in danger. We all are.
But who?
I hope for your sake you never find out. I'm Annabelle Loren. Were you looking for something?
Not exactly.
Are you the doctor?
No, I'm Lance Schroeder.
The pilot. You've hurt yourself.
Oh, it's just a bump on the head. Which is my room?
I believe this is it.
Thank you, Mrs. Loren.
Annabelle, Lance. You were with the young girl in the cellar. Why was she so upset?
Was she?
And you don't look like the type to go around bumping his head. What really happened, Lance?
Well, Nora thought she saw a ghost, but I didn't see anything.
She was just frightened then.
And mad at me, I think. I kidded her about it.
I wouldn't joke about anything else that happens here tonight.
Now, don't tell me you're taking all this seriously.
Aren't you?
Well, I'd like to find out what hit me.
Lance. If I need help, may I count on you?
Yeah, sure, I guess so. Look, what's going on here anyway? I mean, what is with this party bit?
This is no party. He's planning something.
Your husband?
I wish I knew what it was.
Must be pretty big if he's going to lay out 50,000.
The money doesn't mean anything. He has a reason for getting us all up here to this dreadful old house.
Well, what for? He doesn't even know us.
Maybe that's exactly why you're here.
Well, what can he get away with?
Oh, he thinks that big money like his can get away with anything. You know, of course, that I'm his fourth wife. The first simply disappeared. The other two died. Lance, I don't want to join them.
You mean he,
Oh, his doctor said they died of heart attacks. 2 girls in their 20s.
Well, what can he do?
My husband is sometimes insane with jealousy. Nothing matters to him then. Please be careful.
Would he hurt you?
He would kill me if he could.
Annabelle, you're missing all the fun. Nora Manning was almost killed by a falling chandelier. The pilot bashed his head in.
Is he badly hurt?
The Saturnine psychiatrist bandaged him up. Don't you want to go and console him, as you do most men, in your fashion?
You're so clever, Frederick.
Yes, I lie awake nights wondering why I married you. It was rather a mistake.
You didn't marry me, dear. I married you. Unpleasant, but no mistake.
Well, hurry up.
Frederick, for the last time, I'm not going to your party.
And for the last time, it's not my party, but yours. And you are going.
I am not.
You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
Would you adore me as much if I were poor? No. All you want to be is a lovely widow. It's almost time to lock up the house. Then your party will really begin. I wonder how it'll end. It's close to midnight, Lance.
Okay. I'll be down in a minute.
Who is it?
Your host, my dear. It's almost midnight, Nora. We're all going to get together down in the living room.
All right, Mr. Loren. I'll be right down.
Come with us. Come with us before he kills you.
Where's Nora? Miss Manning.
I don't want to stay here.
Nora, what happened? That's Jonas Slides and his wife. They've been caretakers here for years. She's blind, you know.
I'm not going to stay here.
Well, Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
Good evening.
Hello, my dear. This is my wife. These are our guests. Ruth Bridges, Dr. Trent. You know Watson Pritchard, of course. Nora Manning, and this is Lance Schroeder.
Get me out of here.
Now, what about the 10,000?
I don't care. He wants to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Mr. Loren.
May I have your attention, please? I think you all remember the bargain we made about staying all night. $10,000 apiece. If any of you don't survive, $50,000 will be divided amongst the rest of you. If I should die, you will be paid by my estate. When the door is locked from the outside by the caretakers, we'll all be forced to stay in this house until morning. If any of you decide not to stay, you must leave with the caretakers now. You won't have a chance to change your minds later, because there'll be no way to get out.
I don't want to stay.
Wait.
It isn't midnight yet. Who told them they could leave?
They never leave before midnight.
Well, they've gone now. I was going to ask you whether you wanted to stay or not, but it seems that the caretakers have made the decision for you. We're all locked in now.
But I don't want to stay.
And I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now.
Darling, haven't you had enough of the silly game? Get some cars up here for these people and let them go home. But pay them first.
This is your party, remember? In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible, we will all have to stay in this house until 8 o'clock in the morning. But we have some party favors for you in these little coffins. This is my wife's idea. I must say, I think it's rather dangerous. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, you just press down on this lever with your thumb and then pull the trigger. You see, they're loaded.
These are no good against the dead, only the living.
Doctor? Lance? Nora?
Go ahead, take it.
Miss Bridges? And here's yours, dear.
I don't need it.
It was your idea. Who knows, you may want to use it on me before this night is over.
Throw these guns away. They won't do you any good.
I agree with Pritchard on that, Ford, although not for the same reason.
I figured something out.
For the body?
Kind of, but the building.
So how are we gonna clean up this body?
Well, I kind of volunteered for a night custodian as well, like when I volunteered with the crematorium, which I haven't explained to Celeste yet. The crematorium needs help burning bodies because they're kind of overbooked suddenly for whatever reason. Yeah, so the crematorium guy or cremator or whatever you call him, he needs help at his other job. So I said, okay, fine, I'll volunteer. This building is creepy. It's really creepy, but I really like it. There's a long hallway with lots of rooms. Which
Yeah,
I'm
getting
no power.
When you called me here, I was like, fine, it's daytime, it's office hours, whatever, you know. Now that we're here after hours, I'm pretty creeped out. There's nobody here.
Nope. Just the way I like it.
It seems particularly haunted.
We're having fun.
But I have an idea.
And they have an incinerator, so technically, she's not even leaving the property.
Oh, so she can haunt us there. But Morgan, look at this.
What
I
did
have
you
a brilliant idea. Because there's nobody here.
Yes.
Well,
I'll grab one, I'll grab one.
we can have jail bracelets. Wah. We're gonna have fun right around here. Hey, are you sure this building isn't haunted?
It's just a little haunted.
Oh.
Nothing major.
I'm
We'll
getting a
be
little
okay.
creeped out. Morgan. Morgan? Morgan, is that you? Was it you running around here?
I thought there was ghosts too. Was it you?
I thought you were a ghost this whole time. I thought you were a ghost.
I thought you were a ghost too.
I heard something running after me.
I heard something running after
Don't
me.
ever scare me like that.
Celeste. Oh, did you see the creepy kitchen though? Yeah.
Dr. Trent, don't you approve of our little party favors?
Suppose Nora had had a gun when she mistook the blind woman for a ghost.
I don't think anyone else is going to walk around in total darkness.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to go running around the house shooting each other, aren't you?
Who knows? Fear makes people do amazing things.
Mr. Pritchard, you said your sister-in-law killed a man and a woman here and cut them up? You said they found hands and feet, but they never found any heads. Would you like to see one of those heads? Would you all like to see one of those heads? Well then, just follow me.
Darling, I really don't need this.
Just go look in my suitcase. Just go look. But it was in there. A woman's head.
Nora, I think you're a little upset. Would you care for a sedative?
Get out! Get out, all of you! All of you, get out of here and leave me alone! Just get out of here!
You think it's all right to leave her by herself, Doctor?
I wish she'd taken the sedative.
Well, what do you suppose she thought she saw?
They're closing in on her.
Look, Doc, I think somebody ought to stay with her.
There could be 1 million people around her. But if they wanted her, they'd get her.
What if he's right?
He's too drunk to know what he's talking about.
I wonder. I'll join you in a minute.
Do you think it would do any good if you went in and talked to her?
Well, do you think there really was a head in her suitcase?
I don't know.
A thing like that would put me right over the edge.
Look, would you sort of stay up here, I mean, in case she needs help?
All right. I'll be in my room. Just call it.
Thanks.
Are you sure there are only 7 people in this house?
Positive, except for the ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, nor in frightening women. In Nora's case, it's gone far enough. Perhaps too far.
What do you suggest we do about it, Doctor?
Don't frighten her anymore.
Nora? 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 Nora! Nora! What do you know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Where's Nora? Where is she?
It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with them. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Let her down.
Nora?
She's dead, Mr. Loren. Your wife hanged herself.
Suicide.
Please hide me. Please hide me.
What's the matter?
Hide me. He tried to kill me. He grabbed me and choked me and put me in that room. And then he went away and left me.
Who?
He thought I was dead.
Who?
Mr. Lord.
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. It was dark, but it must have been him.
Has anybody seen you since he left you?
I heard some people in that room, but I went by and nobody saw me.
Mrs. Loren is dead.
But how?
Loren said she committed suicide, but I think somebody killed her.
Him.
I'm sure you've come to the same conclusion I have.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, let's all have a meeting, discuss what to do. The living room?
Okay, in a minute. I gotta go downstairs. Now, you lock yourself in here and don't let anybody know you're here. If he thinks you're dead, he won't come here. And I'll get back as soon as I can. You'll be all right. And if you have to, you use it.
So beautiful. So greedy. So cold.
Here for a corset. Can I get some help here?
Find it yourself.
Morgan, are you working here too?
Why are you here? You're gonna get me
Did
fired.
you get fired from the bank already?
Maybe. They didn't exactly fire me. They had police come and told me never come back.
Well, I'm looking for a corset.
Mm-hmm. No, they're
Can you help me?
They're over there. Go look.
Can you pull one down for me? Can I get a manager in here?
Manager!
Manager!
Oh, here he is.
What's the problem here?
She wants a corset.
Are you doing this again?
Again?
That's it. You're out of here. You're fired.
You sure?
Yep.
Do we really have to go?
Yep. Well, you don't have to leave, but you have to not
I mean, we
work
can
here.
talk to him for an interview, and we can shop a bit, I guess.
I'm gonna keep shopping. Thank you, Paul.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
We found the coolest place.
We did. I love it here.
I actually found it looking for a corset, and then, of course, Morgan got fired.
From the bank.
Yes. And here. But we still met up with the owner of the Steampunk General Store.
And here he is.
Would you like to introduce yourself, Paul?
My name's Paul Little. I run Steampunk General Store inside of Don's Hobbies uptown, what's left of uptown, on 63rd Street.
In Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yep.
And this place is so cool. So I came in looking for corsets, but you have so much stuff in here. You've got like hats, coats, steampunk, everything.
Potion bottles.
I'm guessing you like steampunk.
Just a little bit. I've been doing conventions for quite a few years now, and then this year there's no more conventions, so I had a little event across the street. And I have the store for the last several years. Before that it was an antique mall.
Yeah, this place is really neat, and it's fun having events, especially if you can do it safely right now, which you seem to be pulling off.
Yes.
Yep, having masks except for this part because you can't understand people when they have masks on too well on camera, but...
Yeah, so normally, small groups, yes, under, 5-10 people, it's not that bad. But if you're in a large group, yeah, socially distance, wear a mask, all those fun things that go along with being in horror and steampunk and
it's like part of the
pandemics.
culture for us,
yeah.
is masks.
We do it anyway. Plus, we've been accessorizing.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people have a problem wearing masks. Steampunk people are like, oh, we get to wear them in public now.
Yeah,
not be frowned at.
And it covers up, well, actually, the resting face.
Yep.
It's
People
good
think
and
we're
bad.
more approachable with our masks on for whatever reason.
Yeah. But we'll take it.
Yes. Yes. We need a little happiness in the world right now.
Yes. And we are approaching all the best Halloween festivities, all the fall fun that we can get. So we're excited about any events, anything going on.
Speaking of events, Paul, you have another event coming up, correct, in February?
Well, it was scheduled for the Danish Brotherhood, which is gone now, so we're looking to see if the same building we're using today is available in February. If it is, we'll be over there.
Oh, that's
Come
cool.
check it out, everybody. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and now if you want more info on that, look up Steampunk General Store, find his page on Facebook. You can get all the info for that event. And we're having so much fun looking around. I couldn't drag her out of looking around. Actually, that's why she got fired, is because she wouldn't
stop
help
trying on the stuff.
customers, and she would just go through the stuff herself.
Yes.
I may have been the reason she got fired this time.
Maybe. We'll let you decide.
50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take some of the blame, but I can't take all of it.
I'm sorry. These outfits are awesome. It's like my personal closet in here.
So, Paul, what do you feel about the jellyfish attacking?
What?
The jellyfish.
Jellyfish? No.
Man-o-wars?
Have we not reached that point in 2020 yet?
I don't know.
Oh, I think that's in October or November, yeah.
Oh,
Time traveler problems.
Yep. So if you've got jellyfish or man-o-wars or manta rays on your bingo card for 2020, let us know.
Yes, and if you have them in your house, lock them up.
Put them in the bathtub.
Beware. And Paul, I had one other question. What got you into steampunk? Like, how did you fall in love with the aesthetic and the whole culture?
I was out at Bristol Renaissance Fair working at a pirate shop.
That'll do it. Yep.
And they had a one-day trial run of steampunk out there. And there was a guy in his 20s and stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. And he was talking about how he wanted to steampunk his wheelchair.
Wow.
And he was getting so excited, he says, by the time I'm done with this chair, everyone's going to want to be me.
That's awesome.
And
That's
somebody
really
in a
cool.
wheelchair for his whole life, that's unbelievable.
Right, yeah, that's great.
It is inspiring and I love it. It's artsy, it's out there.
And it's so fun. It's one of the things that's, I find that a lot of subcultures end up getting really judgmental, but I don't feel like steampunk is. I think people are all excited. If you see someone dressed steampunk, you get excited about it.
I love
And
the
it's very
gears.
welcoming, yes. So I love that, the whole group of people that are involved in that culture.
There was a band that was scheduled to play at TeslaCon a couple years ago. He was being judgmental, the lead singer, on Facebook and on social media. So the guy that runs the convention called him up and said, "You're not going to be at TeslaCon because we don't put up with that kind of stuff here." It's
That's
very,
great.
very inclusive.
Yeah, that's great, because you don't want to support someone who's not being inclusive of people.
Right.
And we're talking about Victorian times a lot of times. We leave out the bad stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, you want
Just
to
like
keep
time
it
travel.
fun. We know that bad stuff happened. We don't need to recreate it.
No.
We just take the parts we enjoy of it and continue it, and leave the other stuff there.
Alternative history.
Yes. Exactly. Alternative facts, even. So,
It's an alternative fact as to why I got fired.
that's debatable. What's your favorite horror movie?
I got a whole bunch of them. The Underworld movies, a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. Well, not really horror, but my two favorite movies probably are Deadpool movies.
Oh, those are fun,
They are
They're really
funny.
fun. I love them.
Kind of horror, kind of not. Kind of steampunk, kind of not.
Yeah, no,
It
they're
works,
they're
though.
fun too. They're good, really
They're
good fun.
So messed up.
That's why we like them.
Right
Yes.
now.
I mean, Morgan, I will talk about my love of Human Centipede if you don't
Do
keep your
not.
eyes off them.
Oh man, that was a bad movie. It's like, okay, you can do it, but why?
Love those movies. Okay, so we're gonna have to say goodbye. And we're gonna check out this store a little bit more, and you guys should check it out too. Morgan, what are we doing here?
I got us an office job.
How did you talk me into this? I don't belong in an office.
We're totally capable of this.
I'm
Always
doing my
look on the
best.
sunny
My
side.
best.
I got some TPS reports for you guys to deliver upstairs.
Okay,
Gotta get it to Bill ASAP by 3 p.m.
it's done.
Yeah.
All right, you're fired.
What?
You're fired. You're fired. Get out of here.
Oh,
Pack up whatever you might
Already?
have in your desk and get out of here.
that's the shortest job I've ever worked.
Morgan, you are fired. Come on, just don't make them call security again on us. Let's just leave quietly.
What are you doing in here?
Wait. Don't we?
What do you mean coming in here?
I didn't want them to take her away.
Drunk.
They will if you don't watch her.
You're drunk. All right, out with it, Bridget. Why did you come into this room?
I'm the only one who understands.
Understands what?
Your wife isn't there anymore. She's already joined them.
Look, Bridget, I've had enough of your spook talk. Get out, you sot, and don't come back into this room again.
Where's what's-her-name? Nora.
I didn't disturb her since I don't think this concerns her.
No, you're right.
Mr. Loren, isn't there some way we can get out of this house now?
No, none at all.
We could try breaking out.
The only door to the outside is made of steel. The bars of the windows are set in solid stone. We gotta stay.
I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Pritchard. But I am afraid. When we came here a few hours ago, the only thing we had in common was the $10,000 we'd get. Now, however, we share something else. The death of Mrs. Loren. So far tonight, one of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was mysteriously slugged. One of us has been driven to the brink of absolute hysteria. And one of us is dead. Were these accidents? Suicide? And we must stay here for 6 more hours.
6 hours? 6 of us. Time enough.
Who'll be next? How will it happen?
Let me ask you a question, Doctor. You were the first one to see my wife there. Did you also see anything that she could have climbed up on and then jumped?
No.
Did any of you? There was nothing. How then did she get up there so high?
Exactly, Mr. Loren. How? She couldn't have pulled herself up there. She couldn't have dropped from the ceiling. Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered by one of you.
Or you, Mr. Loren. To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason.
We were all strangers to your wife. Only you had a motive for murder.
What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband hasn't had 1,000 opportunities to do it in such a way so that he'd never be suspected? I'm not such a fool as to hang my wife from a ceiling by a rope.
The fact remains that you, or one of us, murdered Mrs. Loren. And that's a matter for the police.
So how do we get the police?
That's my point. We can't until morning. What began as a silly party given by an eccentric has now involved us all in murder.
For once, Pritchard may be right. If another murder's in the works, let's stop it now.
Another murder.
Why not? Maybe one of us saw too much.
Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? To see some ghosts, have a party? No.
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder?
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere. Somebody killed Mrs. Loren. We know that. One of us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent. Okay. Now, what we have to do for the next 6 hours is protect ourselves from each other.
You really think?
I don't think anything. I just know that I'm going to my room. And if anybody comes in, I'll shoot him. Or her.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room. And the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
And we all have guns.
And we're all agreed?
Oh, I wish this night were over.
Rooms? Guns? I tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They aren't through with us yet. What's the use of saying goodnight?
Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
okay? They've all gone to their rooms and locked themselves in.
Lance, I've been thinking. It was so dark down there. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Loren.
It was him, all right. He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
How can you be so sure?
She tried to warn me, asked me to help her. The doc thinks he's going to try and kill one of us. Now, there must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police before he does.
I'm going with you.
But if he finds out you're alive... No, Nora. You're safer here than any place else. Now just lock yourself in and keep quiet. If I find a way out, I'll come back and get you.
Well, we are here at Whitnall Park
in Franklin, Wisconsin,
at the waterfall. And we are at the waterfall specifically because it is the site of a local legend.
There is apparently a lady ghost that wanders around here. She's got no feet.
Yeah, so one story is that she has no feet and she has a baby and she yells at you to leave her baby alone.
And then some people say she's got feet.
Yep.
She always seems to scamper down the river or out into the woods, and that's about all we know.
Yeah, some people say that she actually doesn't talk at all and she just kind of goes into the woods. Other people say
she's a yeller.
She has feet, that she's pacing down by this waterfall here.
And yells.
Yes, and yells about the baby. And you can actually reportedly sometimes hear a baby crying here with no babies present. Oh boy, Morgan.
Well, the evidence is taken care of.
Yeah,
partially.
What happened? Normally I'm the one setting things on fire.
So I really wanted to make sure that there were no bone fragments left. And I think I overdid it with the accelerant.
You think? All right, now
I didn't think that they burned that hot, but apparently it does.
Well, now we have this to clean up. A good thing we have access to a crematorium.
We won't need that now. But that's for extra stuff. But yeah. Yeah, so Mrs. Cramps, whatever, cramping my style, she's in a better place now, everybody. And she's no longer throwing files at people. So if you've ever been tormented by this woman working for her, don't worry.
Yes, and you probably shouldn't look for her.
No.
Or ask any questions about her.
Please don't.
Ever.
We're at an undisclosed location at an undisclosed time.
Nothing happened here.
Day, nothing.
We take no responsibility for anything that happened in this location or anywhere in this vicinity.
Nope. Nothing.
Also, watch House on Haunted Hill.
So I'm still trying to earn money. I answered this ad in a mysterious place on Craigslist. I don't really know how I found it, but I was told to wait on this couch, and I'm waiting for Celeste. So hopefully she'll be here any moment, because they said if my sister could join, it would be way better. So here I am. Oh, look, a bed bug. Hi. You gonna come home with me? Yeah. Cool. We got a new pet. I can't wait to show
Morgan.
you. What?
I got your call.
Yeah?
We're leaving.
Why?
I
They
don't
said
think
this
you-
was decent money.
I don't think you want this role. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. We're going.
Look, I found a bed bug. I have a new friend.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors note. But 'tis my heart that loves what they despise, who, in despite of view, is pleased to dote. Nor are mine ears with thy tongue's tune delighted, nor tender feeling to base touches prone, nor taste, nor smell desire to be invited to any sensual feast with thee alone. But my 5 wits nor my 5 senses can dissuade one foolish heart from serving thee, who leaves unswayed the likeness of a man, thy proud heart's slave and vassal wretch to be. Only my plague thus far I count my gain, that she that makes me sin awards me pain.
And admission of guilt, Doctor?
Certainly not. There's either somebody else in this house or one of us has left his room. Did you hear anything?
Organ music?
That, and someone walking.
You got yours? Ready?
You look downstairs, and I'll look up here.
Why not together?
There may be only minutes, seconds left of someone's life. Why waste time? It's almost over, darling. Every detail was perfect.
What's happening?
We've done it. A perfect crime. Beautiful.
Has she killed him?
Not yet, but she will.
Get me out of this hanging harness. What's taking that girl so long? What time is it?
At first, I couldn't get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. But after you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
It'll be worth all of our planning, darling. Where's Nora now? What's happening?
On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
And Frederick?
On his way to the cellar, too.
David, are you sure none of them will suspect us?
Of what? An hysterical girl accidentally shoots somebody? Who would suspect that we planned it that way, that we drove her to it?
What about my suicide?
But just a ghost party gag. We'll claim it was a dummy since I'm the only one who touched you.
And the caretakers?
But they had no idea what they were really doing.
What about Nora? She's not stupid, you know.
Darling, believe me, everything we planned is working perfectly. Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you, when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking too long. David, you ought to be there.
When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar.
David? David?
last you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with me. Annabelle. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder that I was playing too.
There must be some way to get in here.
Oh, it's right along here, somewhere.
Lance! I've shot Mr. Loren. He's down in the wine cellar.
Alive?
I don't think so. It's him. He's alive.
You didn't shoot anyone, my dear. I loaded your gun with blanks. I can tell you all now. Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. They failed. Trent tried to throw me in the vat. My wife stumbled and fell. I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty.
Now there are 9. There'll be more, many more. They're coming for me now. And then they'll come for you.
What movie?
Yes, I love this movie so much. And the thing is, it's not strictly a horror movie in the sense that there's no paranormal. I mean, it depends on how you define a horror movie. There's nothing really paranormal. Like, they set up all this whole theme of, like, ghosts and hauntings and... What'd you do, Morgan?
What did I do? What'd you do?
Gosh. All right.
She's fully incinerated, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
all incinerated, all cleaned up.
Oh, good. Okay.
Nothing there.
Good.
Don't have to worry about it.
So, this movie.
Yeah.
It's something.
I love the skeleton thing, like, and the ghost thing, the hanging. All these things are like elements of horror movies. But then you find out in the end that none of it was all a setup.
It's people.
Yes, it's a very, very clever setup between a couple that were both trying to kill each other. Kind of.
Am I shocked? No.
No. I mean, that's a sad way for a marriage to end.
Yeah, very much so.
And I felt really bad for Nora because they set her up.
Oh, yeah.
They totally set her up. At least the wife did, and I felt really bad for her because she was really scared.
Yeah.
It was a clever plan, though.
It was.
And I did appreciate that.
Yes.
And the ending with the acid bath and... Speaking of endings, Morgan, how's your debt situation looking?
I paid that off.
You did? Oh, good. How'd you do that?
So the local funeral home was suddenly like swamped, and their crematorium was booked up. Remember, you know how we have that pizza oven outside?
Oh yeah.
So I was able to help them get everybody cremated on time and to where they should have gone, and I got to use the pizza oven, and I got to solve my debt.
Wait, I just cooked a pizza in that. I was just eating. Oh,
protein.
Ew. Did you clean it first?
It's just ashes.
All right, well, on that note...
Give you some fiber, some protein, a little spice to your pizza.
We had a lot of fun showing this movie. We really love it, and we hope you guys really enjoyed our showing of it. And, Morgan,
yes.
What are we going to do?
That was another joke. We will
hex you soon.
Hi everybody, you're here with
Celeste
and me, Morgan.
And we are Hexen Arcane, and we are on location. Where are we, Morgan? This place is gorgeous.
We are at St. Killian's Catholic Cemetery in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Originally there was a church here in the 1850s, and they called it the Little Church in the Country. Founded by German immigrants, and we are currently sitting in the cemetery here where there is a lot of folklore and urban legends and ghosts. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, when you would drive by, it looks like a very small old cemetery, not too noteworthy. But when you walk around and look, there's a lot of really old, cool tombstones. And like she said, there's actually some lore here that's kind of fascinating.
Are you okay over there,
Yeah.
Celeste?
The tree sap.
This
pine cones.
Tree has a lot of sap. I'd laugh if we get nailed with pine cones, but regardless.
I've been nailed by pine cones already today.
Oh no. So should I tell them a little bit?
Yes, tell them about it, because I don't really know the lore about this. Morgan took me on this adventure.
Yes, I just brought her here. I gave her very little nondescript information, just this is how we get here, and it's called St. Killian's. So, the church over the years had lost its members due to other parishes popping up around the area. We have St. Charles, St. Mary's in Burlington that way, and we also have St. Francis and St. Patrick's out that way, out yonder. So as the parish parishioners, that would be the parish population declined, the church was used less and less. They still use the cemetery, still bury people out here, but it's been rumored that once the church was pretty much abandoned, that people were using the basement for ulterior motives and not good ones, and that's been neither confirmed nor denied, so it's hard to say.
Right. So we're going to say it's a rumor that there may have been some ritualistic activity of a dark nature.
Yes, I guess that's the best way to put it, and that doesn't make me very happy that somebody would use a church that way, but that's not why we're here today. We are here to also explore the ghost stories of this place as well. People have gotten orbs, mists. There's been reportedly screaming that happens here. Somebody did get it on film. You'd have to do a Google search on that one. I saw the footage at one point, and it really scared me from coming back here for years. But there is also said to be a priest that wanders the grounds as well, kind of checking on everything, making sure that people aren't doing terrible things here. And it's rather unfortunate as I'm looking around, as there is a lot of headstones that seem to have been vandalized. And
Yeah, there's a lot of damage, and some of it you can tell is weather, but some definitely is not.
There's one behind the camera over there that's completely knocked off its base, and it's very sad. These headstones, a lot of these headstones, especially in this back corner here, are written in German, and that's fascinating because you don't see that anymore. The bell, there is a bell closer to the entrance of the cemetery here, and it is said to ring on its own, which
Wow.
is pretty neat. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to show you that in a minute.
Yep, there's also been reports of shadow figures. Oh, what else? A child wandering around here too, which I can't confirm that one because that seems to be the parallel with every cemetery. But
Right.
The priest, I do think that I have caught him on camera before, but maybe not. It's all left up, I guess, for interpretation. I've gotten orbs. I've seen the mist. I have heard the bell. So it's pretty neat. So we'll get you some photos of this place and, you know, revel in the rich history that's here of the German immigrants that came to this portion of Wisconsin. Oh, I must also add, too, I believe it was in the 1940s or 1960s. I used to know the date. The church was razed because it was no longer being used, and it's a shame. We'll include pictures too of the church because it was very cute little church. But anything else that you would like to add, Celeste?
I'm just excited to explore this place.
Yes, and I'm going to have her translate these headstones for me because my German is very, very bad.
Schlecht. Sehr schlecht.
She knows.
Here we are by the church bell that people hear ringing on its own, and she still works. There we go.
Wow.
My luck, there's going to be a wasp nest in there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Bell was made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by the Campbell brothers. They're also known for making several different church bells, and if I remember correctly, it was either their descendants or somebody that had a hand in making the Liberty Bell as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is a cool bell.
Yes.
And you say this is known to ring on its own. How
Yes.
easy is it to... Wow, it's not that easy
No.
to ring.
You have to really, like, forgive me, wrench on it.
Wow, so if that ringing on its own, it's not just the wind.
No.
That's a pretty heavy bell. And this here is actually an etching of the original church, right?
Yep, this is the church, the little church in the country. In 1856 to 1998.
Very cool place. Thanks for the tour today, Morgan.
You are very welcome. I love coming here. It's peaceful.
Let's see if we can go find that priest.
Yeah. I want to ask him some stuff.
I'm starting it, so. Ouch.
Pine cones.
Pine cones up the butt. Ow. Ow. Okay. You.
It's a blooper.
Ow. Sticks up the butt.
I'm just pretending they're not there.
Ow. Oh my goodness.
It's making me sit up straight, so that works.
Start wearing underwear. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I am.
I was gonna say that it had a layer of protection in there.
Okay. We are starting in 5,